What's up? Welcome into the CHGO Bears Podcast on this Tuesday in Chicago. We got a special show for you today. Adam Hoge, Mark Carman, Greg Braggs Jr. back with us from his vacation, and sitting in between Mark and Greg, Henry Melton, former Bear.
Let's go.
Back in Chicago, hanging out with us today. What's up, man?
What's up? Glad to be here.
Appreciate you coming.
We
appreciate you having me.
We were at practice a couple weeks ago. All the Bears alumni were out there, and Henry was hanging out on the with you had your family out there too, hanging out with I think
daughter.
It was a nice day.
Yeah, it was a great day.
Yeah.
Today.
I think that you look like you can still play, and I thought you looked like you could play there, and you're, 37 years old? Bears could use a little help in the interior. What do you think?
I'm about 255 right now. I had to eat so much food to hold that 285, 290. Yeah, there's no way I could get
Taco
back
Bell?
up there. Oh no.
That's what I would have done. That's how I get to 285.
I mean,
it's
late
really
night,
easy.
Late night, but back then it was like meal prep, boxes of food, late night peanut butter, pretzel snacks, like the whole way, especially after practice. Like our practices, I would lose like 10, 15 pounds.
Right. Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. Me playing right now, yeah, this is just for looks. Like, this is just for show. Like, I would go out there and get folded right now, crumble.
Well, Jason McKee was out there, and he kind of reintroduced me to you, and I do a double take at first. I was like, oh, yeah, Henry Melton, looking great, looking like he could play, like Carm said. But we appreciate you coming in here. Everybody watching, please hit the like button. Please hit subscribe. And it's a good time of year to have some of these conversations, reconnect with former players. And I definitely want to hit on some old stories. We got a special video for you at some point, too, that we're going to play for you from one of your ex-teammates.
We got teammates.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
We did.
Yeah.
It's a first-class operation, Henry.
I like it.
What was your first impressions being out of practice a couple weeks ago, just in terms of seeing what you saw, whether it was – I mean, that building looks a lot different than from when you were in there.
Oh, man. It's amazing. I guess it's like they say, like, oh, yeah, you didn't have these benefits, but y'all built it, type of thing. Like, I don't know. Like, it's awesome for him. I'm happy for him. But it was like, man, I wish we had that back then. But it was good to see everybody. It was a minute since I've been back. I ran into a bunch of old faces. I hadn't been back. There was times where I was going to come, but just like the scheduling. But I was able to bring my daughter this time, so it was nice.
Does it feel weird walking in there? Like, okay, I used to play here, and most of these guys don't know who I am. I was once a beast. You better respect me. I'd feel like, I don't know, I feel like that's like an awkward spot for an ex-player.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of just humble. I'm like, even just walking around, like somebody might recognize me, or like if you hear my name, you might be like, oh wait, he was. Yeah, I'm like, most of the time I'm just relaxing. Like even during like my daughter, like coaching my daughter's basketball and all that, it's like once people find out, they want pictures and stuff. But most of the time I'm just kind of low key. It's like they can see I'm huge, but it's like most of the time I'm just low key.
Do you have any kind of a relationship with Roschon Johnson? Obviously you guys both from Texas.
I actually haven't talked to him yet, but don't we have another Texas guy?
I don't know. Do we have any more Longhorns?
No, we did.
I thought there
running
was
back
roster
couple. Well, Roschon the running back.
I don't think so, but Gary Rappaport, who's in our chat, he'll be the one to drop it.
I ran into Vasher. He was doing the...
Yeah, he's doing... I heard that he's working with, like, the strength and conditioning staff, right?
Yeah. I didn't, I guess he is big now, but I'm like, I thought he was going to be more hands-on with the secondary, I guess. But he said he's strength and conditioning. But it's good to see him too.
So I know a little bit. I've done so much research for this interview, Henry, that I feel a little uncomfortable how much I know about you. Like,
We're all uncomfortable. We're gonna be.
like I know, like I think when you were young, you lived in Japan. Is that right? Like when you were super young, your dad's he was in the Marines. Is that right?
That's right.
I mean,
Hoorah.
Could you speak Japanese to Greg Braggs and explain to him like what's?
I forgot pretty much all my Japanese. I used to be able to speak it pretty well when I was younger.
Wow.
Until I came back over to the States, and obviously not a lot of people are walk around speaking Japanese. But
did you think that when Mark Trestman showed up that he was speaking Japanese, or was that or did you click? It's a weird way of getting into that transition, but it was a weird time for the Bears, right? You guys loved Lovie, and then here comes Trestman for your last year in Chicago.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I loved Lovie. He was a great coach, just great human. Like you could just feel that. I mean, and then Trestman, like I just didn't really get to know. We were only there for so long, but. I mean, he was more hands-on with the offense, obviously. Yeah. We were still doing our defensive thing, but seemed all right.
Okay.
Yeah, and you got hurt pretty early on in that 13th season, right?
Yeah.
So were you even around the rest of the year? Were you?
No, I mean, once I was there until I had to go have surgery. Then I went to Florida, to Pensacola for like a month. So like, yeah, I missed a lot of what was going on, but I was still watching, talking to the guys if they needed anything, needed any tips or help.
And it wasn't really until 14 when things really went off the rails, and by then you were in Dallas. So
it was.
Yeah. How do you look back at your Bears tenure? Because those were like 11 and 12 are my first 2 years covering the team, and those were your two big seasons. I mean, you and then they gave you the franchise tag, right?
Yeah.
And then of course the injury. So how do you balance all of that being a 4th round pick, coming on the scene pretty strong, and then obviously I'm sure it didn't end the way that you were hoping to at that point.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just like life. It's just sports. Not everybody gets the fairy tale ending that you want. I mean, I loved my career. That was the best times of my life, was playing for the Bears. Like, just a camaraderie, and, obviously we were winning. We were great defense, top 5 defense, entire time I was there pretty much. And then, just having the veterans, the Hall of Famers that are on the team are going to be Hall of Famers. You know what I'm saying? It was just the atmosphere, the coaching, the city, the fans. It was definitely my favorite time of football. And then it was just kind of you fight, you win 10 games, you don't you're this close to going to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Then this close to even going to the playoffs next year, making a run, who knows? And then everything just we were literally on the, I remember it like it was yesterday. We were on the bus boom, ready for playoffs. We're about to, we're about to make some moves. And then all of a sudden it was because I think it was Green Bay had to beat Minnesota or something. Y'all probably know a little bit better.
Yeah, no. So you guys were in Detroit.
Yeah.
I was covering that game. You guys won that game.
Yeah.
And then it was dependent on, I think you're right. I think the Packers were playing the Vikings. And I think the Vikings had to win. I forget this. Whoever had to win, obviously it went the wrong way.
Yeah. And we were on the bus.
Yeah, so you guys are leaving the stadium.
And we were because that time it was one of the teams was way better than the other, and it was a huge.
The Packers
upset.
needed to win for the Bears to make the playoffs. I'll never forget this because I'm sitting at my house with my buddy Kevin Devine. And I'm trying to explain to him that we are rooting for the Packers right now.
It's hard to imagine.
He would not listen to me the entire game. He's like, I do not care. I'm not rooting for the Packers. I go, we will not make the playoffs if the Packers don't win. And for the entire game, he's rooting against them. Packers end up losing the one time we need the Packers to win. They end up losing. And my buddy was fine with it. And I almost threw him off my balcony. I almost literally threw him off my balcony.
Yeah, and that was when everything just. I mean, right after that, it was like. I mean, we were on the bus, like, yeah, we got this, like, and then like literally the next day, it was like Lovie was gone.
Yeah,
It was like we were about to make a playoff run, then it was like, boom, like everything was done. Like Lovie's gone. We're like all like saying goodbyes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
it's just such a dramatic switch of the season.
It's
over.
It's we say this all the time, but sort of life in the NFL can be that crazy.
Professional sports.
You're leaving Ford Field thinking, okay, you're going to playoffs the next day. I'll never forget that locker room the next day too. I mean, Devin Hester was at his locker just in tears. I mean, you guys were. We've seen some coaches get fired in this town, so we've seen locker rooms where the coach gets fired and everyone's maybe almost a little happy inside. You guys were devastated. That was a tough morning.
Yeah, that was. He was like a father figure to me. He was just such like obviously how I came in. Like I was 4th round, not like some big time like first overall pick or something crazy. So it was just kind of like, and I was new to learning defense even because I played running back in college, switched to defense. Like I only played 1 full year of defense my senior year across from Brian Arakpo. So it was just like I was learning from that, still learning how to even play good defense, great defense. I was just using my athletic ability at that point. But then like having Lovie, Rod, Marinelli, like coaching me up, doing all this stuff, like trying to get me acclimated to the NFL. So like, yeah, he groomed me like through like 4 or 5 years, like grinding. So it was just, and everything just like switched like that, and it was tough to deal with.
How did that transition go? You're running back your first 2 years. Hey, Henry, you want to go play? You want to go sack the quarterback? I mean, or were you like, this isn't working. Can I make a switch? How did that go down?
I think it was just like a mix of both. Because I was like, I mean, we had Rack on, like, and then I came in with Jamal Charles. So, like,
Kingpin.
Yeah. So that obviously we won the national championship my freshman year. You know, I just got to throw in my stats. You know, I scored 10 touchdowns that year, running back.
Damn straight.
He scored 12, I think. They're both like Texas records.
Yeah.
So it was just like going from that and then transitioning to my sophomore year where, you know, they were kind of focusing more on Jamal and his, like, obviously he's a monster.
Yeah.
You know, he proved that in the NFL. So it was just like kind of doing like that. And then, you know, my junior year, like we had a bunch of guys go to the league. And then they asked me, like, you have a good chance of starting, even playing, you know, making it to the league more, I feel like, as a defensive player. And then running back. I was just a big running back. I could run, but
I was going to say at that level, I feel like you don't get too many. I mean, you might get a running back who moves to linebacker or vice versa, or a tight end that might switch to defensive end or something like that. But to go to defensive tackle, did you go straight to tackle, or were you more of an end?
No, I played defensive end.
Okay.
Like I didn't play. Well, I just kind of showed flexibility just for like my senior year. I moved around a little bit, like rushed inside sometimes, but mostly I was like starting outside of the other end on the other side of Rekpo senior year, because he was redshirt senior. I was senior, but. Yeah, like I had to lose weight to play defensive end. Like I was like, I was probably like 265. Played running back, like I had to get down to like 255 to play end. So it was just like, it was funny. I had to lose weight to play defense. But
we'll rewind back to your freshman year. You guys win the national championship. That to me is probably the most memorable college football season ever. I mean, national championship game against USC. I'm a Notre Dame fan, so I'll never forgive the Bush push for Reggie getting in. But it did result in USC versus Texas and one of the greatest games ever played. What are your memories of playing in that game?
I didn't play offense, but I did play special teams in that game. So They were afraid to give me the rock as a freshman, even though I scored all these touchdowns.
Well, Vince
I'm
Young.
still mad about it.
Vince Young-
Still salty
Vince
about
Young
it.
didn't need anybody. He's just
But it was
running.
obviously a great game.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Like I was staying, I had the best view of the
Thank
best
you.
view of
Thank-
VY being amazing.
Thank you for underlining, Henry. What I've always said on the show is that we are all me guys first. I didn't get to play enough. It sucked. I should have been on that field.
I should have been on the field. There was times where we had the short yardage. I was like, come on, put me in.
Right. Thank you. Me guys. We are all them. Some of us admit it. Fist. Let's go.
It's me,
And then
guys.
others-
If you feel like you can help out the team
Right,
in situations.
well, sure.
You know, not just like
Right,
I'm
of
not
course.
as good as the guy in front of me, but you know, I still want to play.
So there's a big
but it
difference
was
there, Carm, because you think you can help here and you can't at all.
Good underlining, Gregory.
Yes.
All right. Well, we have a video from one of your former teammates we're going to bring here in a second. First, we're going to thank a couple of our sponsors. So stick with us here for a second, Henry. But this year's already been moving pretty quickly, guys. We're into June, and we're already wondering what's something that you're proud of in 2024 so far. What's something you still want to accomplish this year? When life goes so fast, it's important to take a moment to celebrate your victories, like Carm did last night on the softball diamond.
Amazing performance by me.
Yeah, and then you want to make adjustments for the rest of the year. Therapy can help you take stock in your progress, set achievable goals for the next 6 months. And I know I've benefited from therapy, and it can get you on the right track. And just always, sometimes it's just good to talk, and that's where BetterHelp comes in. Because if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, suitable to your schedule, and here's how it works: is you just fill out a brief questionnaire, and they'll match you up with a licensed therapist. You can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. So if you're not on the right track, you're not vibing the right way with the therapist you get matched to, you could switch, no charge at all. And it just starts with that brief questionnaire. So check it out. Take a moment. Visit BetterHelp.com/CHGO today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/CHGO.
And we'd like to send a shout out to our great friends at Prize Picks. And let me tell you something. This is the easiest, bestest, most fun way to make money. Have some fun going about it. Prize Picks is the #1 fantasy sports app, more than 5 million members. It's all you got to do is you pick more or less on 2 or more player stats. So like last night, for instance, in the NBA Finals, if you just knew that Kyrie was going to, the lights were going to be a little bit too big for the former Celtic, and then he was going to go under and only score 15, more or less, rather less than with 15. Or if you knew that Jason Tatum was going to seize the moment and go more with this 31. By the way, plus 18. Congrats to Tatum and the Celtics for yet another championship in Boston. It is that easy. Show your skills. Get it going. Prize Picks, America's #1, again, fantasy sports app. Get it going on, and this is what you do. You download the app today. You use the code CHGO. You get a first deposit match up to $100. So $2 for everyone. You put in 100, you'll have 200 in your account. The code is CHGO. First deposit match. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It is that easy. And word on the street is that Nicholas Moriano's made more money than anybody at Prize Picks, so you should talk to Nick. Hit him up. Guy's killing it.
Yeah, apparently got injured again playing
Oh my
softball last
God.
night. Guy is more
Pick
injury.
less. Guy can't make it
Did
through
you
a game.
ever play with somebody that was like injured every game, but like the injury was questionable? I mean, this is what we're dealing with Nick Moriano.
Jay
on our
Cutler,
baseball
NFC
team.
Championship
Like,
game.
The first time we were like,
Oh,
I didn't say that.
whoa, come on.
I'm not gonna comment on that. That's
Ernest
crazy.
Jones-Drew
Was
over
it-
here.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I thought we debunked that whole thing.
No, I know.
Yeah, we
He's one of the
did.
toughest guys of all time. You could say
Now you went from 2 different spectrums.
you could say all the nice things about Cuddy if you want, or he kind of was a pain in the ass in the locker room.
Oh, we talking about Cutler right now?
Yeah, well, why not? I
guess you just went there.
I don't have anything bad to say about him. I thought like we had a great team. We were this close most of the time. Obviously, that injury, who knows? It's one of those like what could have been type of situations.
Yeah.
But like for me, I didn't have like people expect a quarterback to be like some big rah guy all the time. Like a lot of them aren't. Like I had Colt, like my college career, like he wasn't he just got the job done. He just wasn't a big rah-rah guy, like quiet, but led by his play. Like Jay played great, a lot. So
He could sling it.
he could definitely sling it, and
he could spin it.
he had weapons. Like, it reminded me of this team.
Yeah.
Like, we got a little bit of defense. Got a guy that can supposedly sling it.
The thing about Jay that I've, come to find, just hearing from so many of his former players, the opinions I feel like in that locker room were very similar to what it is in the fan base. Like, some people loved him, some people had strong opinions against him, and then I think there's a lot that sound like you, where it's just like, he was good. He was a good player, and that's fine. You didn't really. It sounds like you don't have a strong opinion either way.
No, I
Cutler.
don't. Yeah. Like, he wasn't a cancer in the locker room or something. Like, he just like went about his business. Like, he would, joke around with us sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Like, but
he also
was
kept
cool with
himself
me.
a lot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, when he first came in, like, I would go out and get a couple drinks with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was cool. And then, it's like he started dating. Right? We were talking about the relationship and all that. But
props. The guys had some high profile extracurricular activities off the field. Give him a little love for that, right?
I have no.
Salute.
So yeah, like, good for him. But
Not everything, listen. Sometimes these things don't last. I'm familiar.
We have a video from one of your former teammates who's, I will say, a little less polarizing, and he's
That's
one of
true.
our teammates here at CHGO now too. Steven, we got this ready. It's our guy Corey Wooten.
That boy Hen Mel. Hope you ain't over there chip diving. Couple questions for you, man. Want to see what you think of the current state of the Bears defensive line, and in particular Gervon Dexter. Maybe what you saw from last year, what you're expecting with this growth in year 2. What are your thoughts of Big E, Coach Wash back in the building? Mostly going to be working with the defensive line. And lastly, what is your favorite memory as a Chicago Bear? Hope you're doing well, brother.
Big woo.
Chip diving, huh?
So
Big
calling
woo.
you out.
It's like inside.
Well, Woot's one of our teammates here, and he's
Big Woot, man.
he's going to be working with our some of our pre and post game this year too.
He is
which we're
Big
excited
Woot.
about. Oh, he's
Yeah.
still huge.
I mean,
He can
I think he's gotten bigger since
he can bomb the golf ball.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely bomb it. How about let's answer that last one first. Favorite memory.
Favorite memory. Oh man. Favorite memory. I don't know. Like, it always. It's like you talk about. I'm a me guy.
yeah. Sack.
It's okay.
My first sack on Brett Favre was like my favorite moment. Like, just getting a sack in the NFL is, people don't understand. Like, it's like a perfect storm has to happen. Like, either you're like a lucky dude. Like, you see a lot of these double-digit sacks that some guys, they're just like unblocked. Like, sometimes it's your year. Like, you're just a lucky guy. Like, the ball just falls to you pretty much. But like, half the time, you might have the perfect rush. You're working your tail off to get to this quarterback, and like the ball's gone, or it's like a screen, like something. Like, for my first sack, like, I was working so hard. I'm like, for it to be on Brett Favre sack fumble, like, it was definitely a moment I just can't forget.
Well, let's give you a little credit to it. It wasn't necessarily just luck here, because I was, you go through it. Your first year, you had 2.5 sacks as a rookie, 4th round pick coming in. That's not exactly that's a solid start to an NFL career. Your second year, you start in 15 games, 7 sacks. That was second on the team. You know who was number 1?
Pep.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
That wasn't hard.
Well, it wasn't.
I was fighting with him.
Do you know who had
he
the-
stole so many. I probably would have had 10, but it's like,
But he takes them?
yeah, they don't let you like a second year guy half a sack versus. You don't ever see that. Like, you
That
might
was
be
kind
in
of
the
your
pile.
job, though, too, right?
Yeah.
To
No, hell
just
yeah.
shoot up the gap and
Hell
create.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like, at that point, I'm like,
You're playing defensive.
I'm not gonna
tackle.
half it with you. It's all yours. You know what I'm saying? But
Who had the most quarterback hits on the team in 2011?
2011,
Yeah, your
I'll be-
second year.
me.
That's
did.
right, 15. Number 1 on the team.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, so there you go.
Okay.
And your 7 sacks, how many guys in the NFL, how many defensive tackles in the NFL had more than you that year?
That year?
Mm-hmm.
My second year?
Mm-hmm.
That's not
You might have been number one.
no.
He wasn't one.
There had to been some double-digit guys.
There were 2. I don't have the names in front of me, but I got a good one for you. You're in your third year when you were voted the Pro Bowl, 33 tackles, 6 sacks, 5 tackles for loss. Team high 24 quarterback pressures. You had 2 forced fumbles. You're 13 sacks since 2011 at that point. Second in the NFL among defensive tackles. The only guy that was more. Anybody? Bengals?
Gino.
Makes sense.
I mean, that's a big-time player. That's
You were
some
saying-
serious company, Henry Melton. So,
Right, because Carm, you were saying career high 7 sacks, third most by a defensive tackle in 2011, behind Geno Atkins and Raiders' Tommy Kelly, who had 7.5 sacks. You had 7, so you were right there.
That's a big man. Tommy Kelly's huge.
yeah.
Well, that first sack against Favre had to be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Then Wooten got the last. Well, he was the last person to sack Brett Favre.
Yeah. I landed on top of him, too. I was in there.
So you take a little bit. You could take a little credit
Take
too.
a little bit.
Just take a little bit.
Like, he got him.
Gave
I was
the
like,
extra sauce.
you're done.
You're dead.
Did he talk a lot? Did Favre talk a lot?
Nah. I feel like, I don't know. Maybe back in the day, but I got him when he was obviously a little bit older.
Okay.
Yeah.
But nah, I don't remember him talking. I don't remember a lot of quarterbacks talking a whole lot.
Yeah.
Like I remember I sacked Andrew Luck, and he was always like, "It's a great hit, man. That was
Well, he was.
you really got me there."
Well, that
It's
is
like-
what I wanted to ask you. Because
You right?
Thanks,
that
Andrew.
is something I wanted to ask you about. Was that game? That was the home opener against the Colts. You had
Yeah.
2 sacks that game. I was in the stands. I was probably drunk, and we
As
were
you should be.
tailgating all day.
I didn't realize how drunk people actually were until I started going to the games.
Yeah, real.
Oh,
I'm
drunk,
like,
yeah, it's just-
real drunk.
nobody knows what's going on.
We just
Like,
young.
you-
He definitely does
No.
not know
Yeah,
what's
no,
going on.
I had no
There's
idea.
no
We're just
way. Like
young.
I did not notice until I was actually in the stands, like just being just normal
The
person.
tailgate
like,
is the game before the
people
game.
are trashed.
Trashed.
I sold beer there. It was the most terrifying experience of my life.
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
upper deck. You better get up here, motherfucking beer fan, or else you're going off the deck. I'm like, sir, you need to calm down. I will bring you your Miller Lite in a matter of moments.
Yo,
But that
it's
game-
it's mayhem out there. I did not know it was like.
Especially
I
up
thought
there.
people actually cared more about the game. I mean, I think it's like people are really getting like
People
I did not know that.
There is a large segment of Bears fans that go for the tailgate.
Yeah.
The game is like
The game is-
secondary.
yes. The game is
Because the
there.
tailgate is the tradition that they've
Yeah.
done for 40 years.
and all they know is if we won or lost.
Right.
It's like-
Some people got to be carried out of there. Now, there's
Yeah.
others that are dialed in. I was dialed in. I'm just joking about how drunk I was, kind of. Now, that game was exciting, though, because the Bears, obviously, coming into that year, had a lot of hype. And then they're opening the season against Andrew Luck. You ended up with 2 sacks. That was Andrew Luck's first ever game.
Yeah.
So, like, to me, I guess I just kind of wanted to know what your guys' mindset was going into that game, because Luck was this hyped prospect, and now the Bears, everything's kind of turned around towards the Bears' way this time around. We have Caleb Williams.
Was that his first game?
It was his first career game. Yeah.
Oh.
And so I
Did not know that.
So
What?
yeah, I didn't know, was that a point of emphasis for you guys to kind of show up the new generational prospect coming into his first game?
I mean, obviously, I didn't even know it was his first. I don't remember that. I don't remember it being his first game, but yeah, I got after him. He was really nice.
That was his
was
rep.
very-
Like
He was like, that was no lie. Like he was like, man, you're really getting after me today, there, Mr. Melton. Like, I was like,
Have you ever seen the NFL
yeah, I'm
films
having
on
a good
him?
day.
Like the NFL films where he's mic'd up, it is like the whole game. That's what he's doing. And I'm like, is he screwing with people, or is that just really?
He was just a really nice guy and enjoy. I feel like I was always surprised when he just like abruptly. I mean, maybe if you're just getting beat up like that, like
Thanks for sacking me, Mr.
Like,
Melton.
well, maybe it's a rat, but
I've seen some clips where Tom Brady, gasses up guys because he's like, hey, I didn't want them to try to kill me, so I always was nice to them. So maybe he was taking a little page.
But
from
that's
that.
what
Yeah.
I never understood
Well-
about how, because Phillip Rivers, all he did was talk shit the whole game.
I never got to play Philip though. That sucks.
But like quarterbacks have to be so dialed in the next play and this and that. Like I never understood how he could talk as much smack as he did. And there are some videos of them, like his teammates literally having to pull him away from defensive linemen because you got to get in the huddle and call the next damn play.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he was a really nice guy. Like, I never got to hear – we played Tom Brady, but he dismantled us here in Chicago. It was like that snow game.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That was
Pissed I couldn't get to
I
that.
never seen Lovie so mad. Like, he was like – he never cussed.
yes.
So he was like, gosh, dang it, darn it. Gee, Willie Willikers.
That touchdown
He
right
was
before
so
halftime.
mad.
Was that one of those legendary halftime?
That was one of those
rebounds
legendary, like, we're cooked.
Well, because remember the touchdown right before the half? Brady threw like a 40-yard dime ball down the left sidelines. It was one of the greatest throws in the snow I've ever seen in my life. The other thing I remember about that game is Devin Hester had like an 80-yard kick return and got tackled at like the 3-yard line.
Yeah.
And those were the kick returns that pissed me off more than anything because they get lost in the history of time, and it should have been another touchdown.
Yeah, that
for
was.
Devin.
I tried to delete that game. Man, I've never been so cold in my life. But I was like, Lovie, what do you expect? You recruit all these guys from down south. Like, we can't play in this. It was. I saw there was snow tornadoes. Like,
Yeah.
I never seen that.
People were giving away tickets that day.
I was frozen. Like, my feet. Like, I had all these plans. Like, at halftime, we were down by like 30, getting destroyed. I just wanted to smell Tom Brady. I couldn't even get close to him. I was like, his office like, nope, you're never gonna smell this man. I was like, no, Tom.
Did you hear that, by the way,
Smells
Mr.
like
Stadium? Did you hear that?
Yes, I did, Adam.
Did the weather help the Bears that day?
Hell no. But that's who you recruit. I mean, like, Lovie was like a tech, like, he went down to recruit me out of Texas. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we had a bunch of warm weather guys. Like, we were not used to that at all. Even though we tried to, like, practice outside during the week, but it's like that game speed, and then it was even colder.
Can
That game was crazy.
I ask all you guys in that era the same question, but so I'll ask you the same. What was it about Lovie that made you love him? Because for us, he was, at least for most of us, he was so unbelievably boring that it was painful. But yet you all like loved him, like thought he was fun, which I still don't understand. And I keep on asking the question.
He was. I mean, he was just a genuine, nice guy. Like, I felt like it made it even. I feel like it made him even better because you would go from Rod, which Rod would be like yelling at everybody, just getting in everybody, like every moment, like you're trash, you suck. And then you have Lovie, he's like, you're doing all right. You know what I'm saying? You could be doing this better. Like, it was just like they matched each other very well. So, but Lovie was always like, I loved Rod and I loved Lovie. It was just like, yeah. I mean, he just seemed like just like a real he called me the other day, just asked me how I was doing. Like,
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a good man right there.
Yeah, no, it was random. I was like, what's up, coach? He was like, how you been? I was like, oh, he was like, man, I just really loved, like, he literally we talked football, like, me coming in, he was like, I loved the way, like, your career, like, you came into Chicago. He was like, I was just thinking about you. I was like,
Well, he brought you down to Tampa too, right? Or I mean, you were there regardless. I don't know if he was the main reason you were there.
yeah, and then he got fired again.
Right.
They're doing it to me again.
No. Follow you everywhere. Can I go back to college? I think he took a college after that.
Yeah, he went to Illinois.
Yeah, went to Illinois.
Yeah,
Derrick Rose
can I go
is
back
to
to college?
Tibbs what Henry Melton is to Lovie. If Lovie should have just
What did you
hung out a
say?
little bit longer.
What did you
I
say?
think he just compared you to Derrick Rose.
Well, not in the.
Rose?
In
well,
what
I mean, our
regard?
knees are probably the same at this point.
I'm just saying, Rose fouled Tibbs from the Bulls to the Knicks to the Minnesota.
I see.
All over.
I got you.
There you go.
It's a guy. If
Wasn't
it's
the
your
best
guy,
one.
it's your guy.
Yeah.
It's your guy. Yeah,
I love hearing that. You have a few more minutes? I want to ask you a little bit about this team.
that's fun.
That's cool. All right.
Yes.
When finding your next vehicle, make Ray CDJR your #1 draft pick this June. Shop Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Rams at Ray CDJR in Fox Lake. And during the Make This the Summer event, find the perfect vehicle and score huge savings, too. For a limited time, you can lease the new 2024 Jeep Wrangler Wheelies 4xE for only $419 a month. 4xE, you know what that means?
No.
It's a plug-in hybrid.
Wow.
Yeah. Or shop over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000 as well. Let the amazing team at Ray CDJR help you land the perfect vehicle at the perfect price, because with a Ray's Price Promise, the numbers you're hearing now are the same prices you can expect to shop in-store and online. That's because the Ray's Price Promise means no price changing, no add-ons, and no hidden fees. Since they prioritize affordability for their customers, hurry into Ray CDJR today. Shop one of Chicago's largest inventories, then drive home with more money in your pocket than you'd expect. So if you're in the market for a new vehicle, you have to check out the team at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, because they're the only team we recommend here at CHGO. Visit them today on Route 12 in Fox Lake. For more information, visit Ray CDJR in Fox Lake or raycdjr.com. Serving the community since 1963. Also, shout out to Ray Scarpelli, who had his bachelor party in Vegas over the weekend.
Way to go, Ray. And shout out to the chat who's showing Henry all the love. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. We love having Henry in studio. It's awesome. It is grilling season. Get your pork. People are active. They need more protein than the average American. In fact, the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics and Dietitians of Canada and the American College of Sports Medicine, they recommend 1.2 to 2.0 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day for athletes like yours truly, who had a bomb last night in a line drive right to Joe Brand, who dropped it. Sorry, WGN, we're undefeated. You lost.
It's called a line out.
Yeah, 1 3-ounce serving of pork provides 23 grams of high-quality protein that can help active individuals build and preserve muscle. Our friend Grillin' with Dad is going to be here at the offices tomorrow.
I know. I heard. I'm excited.
I always schedule this stuff when I'm not here.
Yeah, you're off tomorrow. Sorry about that.
Day off.
Even better.
They bring in food.
More for us.
Sucks for you. We are going to be cooking up some great recipes tomorrow with Illinois pork. Perhaps eating on the show. Elevate your protein game with lean pork. It's a powerhouse of natural goodness. Savor the flavor, savor the gains. Celebrate any occasion by enjoying the best pork produced by Illinois pig farmers. Sausage, bacon for breakfast, pulled pork, juicy chops, hot off the grill. Cincinnati Greg. It's an entire season dedicated to pork and the people buying the product. This is paid for by the amazing people, the Illinois pork producers. Generations of commitment. Who was your favorite linebacker before we get into some of the current Bears? You were Urlacher, or you were Briggs.
I'm both.
Okay.
You know, Briggs was my guy. Love Briggs. Fun. You want Briggs outside the locker room in an entertainment setting, that's your guy. Urlacher that's what we had to see. We just had genuine dudes. Urlacher, I remember he was the first person to talk, even the D-line that we had. Tommy, me, Izzy. But Urlacher was he came up and he was introduced himself. Was I'm glad you're on the team. I heard you got, this and that. Well, thanks, Mr. Urlacher. Thank you. I'm glad to be here too. Hopefully I can stay on the team for a while.
I'm surprised to hear that. That's really cool.
No, yeah. He introduced, that's what I'm saying. He was already Hall of Famer status then.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It's he didn't have to come up to me at all.
Well, and Julius Peppers getting ready to go into the Hall of Fame here in a month and a half or what to get inducted. What was it like lining up with him?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great dude as well. Obviously an absolute beast. Absolute beast.
Right.
We talk about half in sacks and he created a lot of mine. I helped him. He helped me more than I helped him. They would be afraid. Quarterbacks would have to step up because they knew that he was either coming around. He was gonna get there eventually. So they would have to be moving up in the pocket. That's where I would, win. So having him, and then, he was awesome.
Whoop mentioned it in that video, but you had Eric Washington when you were he was in Chicago when you were playing for the Bears, right? So what do you think about him coming back now as a defensive coordinator? What is he going to be able, from your experiences with him? What's he going to be able to do with this D-line?
I think, just from following, I guess, his predecessor, he's going to get the most out of you. I think I was just to run off a little bit. I was thinking, because somebody said something about your career length, but I was just talking to this about somebody. I'm that position, you max out. if you have a good 3 and you're not like, that's how I ended up playing 3 because I was just like, I would ram in. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a different. You have to be a different breed. Like I literally had to go to a different mind state to play at a high level. You have to go a little bit crazy because you got these guys who are three bills plus 350. You know, trying to literally like see you. You're undersized. Like I was 270, 280, soaking wet. Like we're gonna move this guy, and your job is to literally ram your like
Knife through it.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. This is for show. Like my shoulders, like all this is jacked. Like just from like
Constantly. Yeah.
over and over. Even during practice, you had to prove that before they throw you out there. So like we had guys like our veteran linemen, like they were trying to Garza, like they were trying to throw me out the club. So it was just like you talk about. I just don't think there's a lot of longevity in this. Like because people say like. I had a good, 2-year run, 3-year run. Like even during the Cowboys, I read like 5, but like your body just kind of breaks down eventually, especially being undersized. Like how these other guys can play. Like they were just saying, who just got signed? Calais Campbell.
Oh
like,
yeah.
But it's like like he's obviously huge. Like he's built for that. Like you're 2-gapping, you're throwing guys, you're shedding. It's like a different type of physicality. I feel like you can play longer. Playing that position rather than like a 3. Like what did Aaron Donald? He was still like the best. Let me get 10. So I'm saying like Tommy, like you name like a bunch of guys like Gino. I don't even know how long you played, but he might have been one of them. Yeah, it's like to play that position at a high level, you just kind of get broken down like at that 3. If you're playing it hot, like you're playing it great. Like it's very hard to continuously do.
Well, just statistic-wise, I mean, You had 5 sacks with Dallas. You were 10 quarterback hits, 3rd on the team. You were 2nd on the team with 2 quarterback hits, with 12 QB hits your last season in Tampa. So, I mean, I don't know if you felt like you were done physically at that point.
Yeah,
but you were still like it wasn't like you were completely unproductive at the end here.
I mean, I got hurt in Denver. I went to Denver. They signed me. Like I just got like my body was just beat.
Yeah.
It was just like, it was done.
So when you see Gervon Dexter out there. Because he's not small.
No, he's huge.
He's enormous.
I was like, these guys, my daughter was like, these guys are way bigger than you. I'm like, well, I used to be kind of big. I used to be. She was like, no, you're small. I'm like, well, yeah, I get these guys are huge. And then you guys sweat. Like, these guys are, I saw them at the draft thing. But, yeah, these guys are big. But I'm like, I think they got, from what I saw, like, you got to have that. Like, I liked when I was there, they got into it. So I'm like, this is good. It means like.
Oh, that's right. You were at the practice where that little kerfuffle.
Chirping.
Yeah, a little chirp. I like seeing that. That means like he's working. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're irritating somebody, like then you're working on your craft like at a high level. Like you want to see that.
Got some?
Yeah. Well, who irritated you? Was it who irritated you at practice? Just since you brought that up.
Irritated me at practice.
Got under your skin.
Nobody really.
You really get into it?
Olin didn't get under your skin?
No, he just talked a lot. He was, but he didn't like. Nah, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess
he just talked a lot.
I guess the thing that I was going to ask too was, you played in the cover 2. Now they're back doing the cover 2 here. There's some fans that think that the cover 2 isn't sustainable, for a successful defense in this day and age NFL. But I'm every Monday I talk with Corey. We do our show at night, and obviously he's a big proponent of that base defense. How strongly do you feel about like what you can achieve as a player in the cover 2 defense?
Yeah, the cover 2 is just. You have to have, like how we had it. Like you just have to have. Everybody has to work together. Like it's about trust. Like that's how. If you don't trust that the other, like the rush is gonna get there, or the coverage is gonna reroute, like then it's just not gonna go hand in hand. Like you're gonna get beat. Like the longer that cover 2 sinks back, the holes will show. If you don't have a rush, that's why I mean like people were saying we might need another. If you're going to play cover 2, you're going to need guys that can get there very quickly and, like, win, not like a bull, not like wrestling, eventually pushing the like. You need guys that can win ASAP. Is this where the guys can fly playing the cover too, so they can jump the route. They can read what they got to read, not the second pump. Like that's what we say back. Like if the quarterback pumps the ball and we're like, that's on us. Like it's not even on the defense because they're supposed to be running that. They're supposed to be jumping that route, making the play, feeling comfortable that we're gonna get there. If he holds it a second longer, that ball should be coming out. So
and I think that's probably why the defense looked like two different defenses last year after Montez Sweat got there.
Yes.
Right. All of a sudden, now the whole thing looks like it's working.
Now I can play. Now I know that ball is going to come out or he's going down. Like it works hand in hand. This is like defense, man. 11. There's a lot of people moving around.
Good argument to maybe go sign another guy just to make sure.
I wouldn't be opposed.
Yeah.
You can never have too many rushers. Mm-hmm. To be honest, we had I was there. We just had guys that they were literally shuffle guys, and we're like, who can get to this quarterback? Especially people have this the fire the speed package and you want guys to get when it's third and whatever, you want to be able to know that we're gonna have somebody win.
So you live in Chicago. You feel this excitement right now. You saw practice. Are you buying the Caleb Williams hype?
I'm buying.
Okay.
I'm buying. I'm locked in. I loved Fields though. I did. I went to the games last year. We're just hard. Once you get used to losing, and then you come back, and then it's you just gotta figure out how to win those games. We could have been. We had so many games where we could have had 10. I feel like we could have had 10 wins last year, and we weren't. We don't even have the weapons we got now.
Right.
We were shuffling 5 running backs. You know what I'm saying? Now we got, we got pieces. We had, we were only throwing to DJ Moore last year. Now the whole offense opens up. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be a different breed of a team, I feel. I liked what we had last year. If we don't win, we got to win. We have to have at least 10 wins. There's just.
I agree.
There's no way.
Do you remember Flus from Dallas? I mean, he was a linebackers coach when you were down there. I'm assuming you did, but maybe I don't know. Was he? So what do you remember about him, if anything? What stood out?
Just a good guy.
Yeah, he was a good Flus.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, I'm trying to I just thought he was just a nice guy.
Okay.
I didn't see him coming to Chicago and being a head coach. That all happened pretty quickly, but I thought, from what we had a great team in Dallas.
And Rod was
D-line
coach?
We had a great team, so everybody knew what the hell they were doing. So yeah, I mean, I feel like he's got some moving pieces, especially defensively wise. I feel like we can get things done.
Having played for Rod Marinelli, and we know from all the stories that Flus has told us, that is one of his mentors, big mentors.
Yeah.
How does that give you a level of trust in Matt Eberflus, just knowing that connection, whether he was the linebackers coach in Dallas for 1 year. You didn't necessarily play for him, but does that give you that level of trust anyway?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that I ran into that, Rod had his hand on, mentor. So it's they all kind of come with the same kind of attitude, especially, how they want the defense to be ran and what they want the guys to do and how they want to do it. So, I mean, you just got to get your guys and you got to get the pieces that people got to stay healthy. Football is it's a hard game.
Now sorry, go ahead.
No, I just think it's interesting because you got to play a year for the Cowboys. You went to UT. You grew up moving around. You were in Cali. You're in Texas. You're in Japan. We talked about that at the start of the thing.
Yeah.
But you settled here. I mean, we do got. The climate's not as cold as it was, 20 years ago. Things are changing in this world. But what made it about Chicago that you wanted to stay?
My daughter. Yeah, I was in Miami, and then I was kept flying back and forth. I'm a warm weather guy. I said that that Patriots game, I was like, I don't never want to live here. Like I was here when they shut down the roads. Like we had that when all the roads were, all the cars were stuck on Michigan.
Yeah.
I was here for that.
Yeah.
That was
Like
wild.
my car was frozen. I had an Uber. Back then it was taxi. I had a taxi all the way to the facility.
Wow.
My garage was frozen in my high rise. It was like negative something crazy. I had to freaking find a taxi and get to practice. Like it was, I was like, I can't, no.
Just cancel practice.
So you commuted so you were one of the players that would commute from downtown.
I was, yeah. It was only a handful of us.
Yeah, I know, and there's still a handful.
Yeah. It's not easy, especially with they're doing construction now.
Oh, now it's a nightmare.
But it's so much better.
Because I live out there.
It is, but as a single guy, you know.
Right.
Now, if I had like a big family, like, but, you know, as a younger single, and then there was B. Marshall back in the day. He had the van, he had a driver.
That's right.
Yeah. So, like you
watch
hop
his
in with
film
him,
in the
6
van.
a.m. ride.
The B Marsh school bus.
Yeah, he had his own driver. I'm like, this guy is a pro. He's getting this guy is getting it done.
Who was in that car?
Just him.
Oh, okay.
Me sometimes. If I would be like, because he would leave super early. He would leave at like 5.
Really?
Yeah, like he was like, I mean, he was a pro. Like he took care of himself. Like he was the first one there, like last one. Like he was a real professional.
He gave me a tie. He was doing something for mental health. He was passing out these green ties one day, and
In the press conference.
And I got a tie from B. Marsh. I enjoyed him.
Well,
that guy was entertaining.
The
as
story
hell.
was he was doing he did a trivia contest.
Oh, and I got the
in
answer
that
right?
and you got the answer right. So you won a tie.
I won a tie.
He doesn't remember that part.
No, he doesn't.
It was a while ago.
Normally, when he's right about something, he never lets you forget it.
Me and B. Marsh were tight. I mean, you got hurt that year, but you did know that Josh McCown should have remained the starting quarterback because he was killing it, and the other guy. I mean, all the receivers wanted McCown. It was enough with the cutty. It was enough, Henry. Come on.
Really?
I know
He
some
won't
guy,
let this. He will not
I know-
let this go. All these years later,
I know
not allowed to leave
I
until
know
you
for a
agree
fact
with
some
this.
dudes in that room.
What was our record? What did we finish that year?
You were 8-8.
that was the painful blown coverage to Aaron Rodgers.
But that game against the Cowboys, McCown spinning it, and they didn't punt. The thing I remember about that game is the Bears didn't punt. They scored on every drive that game, and I'd never, as a Bears fan, ever seen that in my life.
I don't want to out anybody, but if Earl Bennett was sitting right here, I promise you, he would tell you he'd be at least one guy.
Y'all interviewed him?
I was.
Sure, he could. Yeah.
EB's a great guy.
Yeah.
He was
First
great.
class.
Dude, he was a very good wide receiver here in Chicago.
He was.
I do have one more
Should
question.
get Alshon. Man, I love Alshon.
Dude,
He was so
Alshon.
good back in the
You should get Alshon.
That
Remember Alshon's
training
doing?
camp with Alshon and Brandon and Martellus and Matt Forte.
Yeah.
That was the most high-flying offense I've ever seen going to training
That's
camp.
what I'm
for
saying. That's what we
25
got,
years.
man.
Well, that's what I'm excited to see this year at camp. Like,
We got high flyers.
you could see the difference that year with Marshall and Alshon making catches on the outside. You're like, as a fan
Yes.
sitting in the stands, you're like,
throw it up.
never seen that before. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm excited to see this summer, is to get that same feeling is what I'm hoping that we see. And I'm assuming we will with the pedigree of talent they have there. So you mentioned, playing 3-tech, you got to be a little crazy and just go for it.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, they knew, hey, I'm looking across. I'm a smaller guy. They're going to try to push me off my block. Gervon Dexter, like we mentioned earlier, he's not exactly small. He's the biggest dude on the block.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually going to be talking with him here on Thursday. Like, what advice would you give him to, going into his second year? Because I know a lot of fans are hoping he makes a big jump as a key part of this defense.
Yeah, I mean, especially him not having to, like, me coming in, like, I had to work on my fundamentals. Like, I was like, if they got their hands on me, it was a wrap. Like, I'm not like, I don't have like these big legs. Like, I'm not gonna power you over. Now, if I get you with a little shake and then you're on your heels, it's a wrap. But I'm saying, like, I'm not gonna just bull you back. Like, he might be able to do that, but like, the faster you get to the quarterback, the more successful the defense is gonna be, and the more successful you're gonna be. So it's like you got to work on your fender. You got to work with your hands, like getting to an edge. Just like more about that than, using his size. I would feel. So I think I might be. Am I the last interior Pro Bowler that we've had?
That's got it.
Akeem Hicks. Yeah, Akeem Hicks made the Pro Bowl.
He was
Akeem was
he was doing it.
I think we had
Pretty sure that's the only one.
2 guys and how
Akeem
many?
was really good. I really liked Akeem Hicks.
Yeah.
I mean, he was fun in the locker room too, and I respected the way he played the game too. Talk about just kind of playing with your hair on fire the entire time.
You have to.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
that's why there's not a whole lot of longevity. I feel like you got to
Yeah.
play like.
Well, and he's a good example too, because he was like
Boom,
high
and
flying,
then-
and then all of a sudden it was like.
So I'm
that's
saying,
it.
like you, even in practice, dog. Like we practice harder than the game. That's how I was able to do what I like. Our practices were harder than the game. It was dog eat dog. Especially we wanted to be on that third down. You had to prove it. Like we were going all out, like winning rushes, pass rush drills, all that, like during practice to get to the games. And then the games were easy at that point.
That's super interesting to hear you say that because there's all, load management nowadays and, trying to keep guys healthy. But you're saying that you would not have been the player that you were had you not basically gone full out in practice. Am I hearing that right?
Yeah. Well, just somebody who's still developing.
Okay.
I didn't, because I didn't come in with all the defensive line skill, like with mine. But, developing wise, yeah. I mean, even during these two-a-days, they don't even have two-a-days anymore. Like two-a-days, you would have the young guys go all out. Then it would be only the young guys later in the afternoon. Like the vets, we had a ton of vets. They would be done. Like they already had their spots. There was only a handful on the defense that were available. So you would be going out there getting all those reps, all that work. And yeah, it made me better. But like you said,
Took a toll too.
Yeah, by 30, my body was a wrap.
That's why I have no problem with vet days. I don't think Mercedes Lewis practiced a single Wednesday last year.
See, if you know what you're doing, you're good.
Yeah.
That's different.
Might as well
But
give
if
the
like I
reps to
said,
the
there's
other
more
guys.
developers like the preseason. That's where there was games where I think I came in with Jerron Gilbert. He was third round. I was fourth
Jumped
round.
out of a pool.
Jumped out of the pool. My guy. I think he's head coach of high school
Oh, cool.
right now. He's still in football. But yeah, I think there was time where I was on the it was between me and him. He got cut the year I slid on the team. It was my second year. I don't know how close it was, but the preseason I was playing with my hair on fire.
Yeah, on
They
the
had no
bubble.
reason to keep me. No reason but to keep me.
Could you
but
jump out of a pool like Gilbert? He got a lot of pub for that.
I never tried it, but I'm definitely not going to try. I did a front flip the other day with my daughter. I almost threw
That's
up.
impressive.
I mean, I do actually.
impressive.
I do still have a bone to pick with you, Henry, because you made me a promise a long time ago. You never followed through on this.
Oh, boy.
On Twitter back in the
this
day.
man keeps
On
grudges.
Twitter.
On mean
Look at
streets
this,
of
March
Twitter back
4th,
in the day.
2011.
Oh
March
my!
4th, 2011, a young Greg Braggs talking to a young Henry Melton. You asked something along the lines of hey, what can I do something crazy this offseason?
Oh.
And I said, you got to lasso a longhorn. And you did agree to doing this. And then it never happened. And then I tweet at you every once in a while, and you're like, I'm going to get to
Where's
it.
the agreeing? The one.
You
Couldn't find that. He couldn't find that
Look,
tweet.
see, right here.
I might have deleted it.
I'll show you. You go, look, right here. I put lasso a longhorn. You said, I might be able to set this up. So what the hell, man? When is this going down?
What a nightmare for you, Henry. This guy's
You gotta lasso
busting out
Longhorn.
tweets from 2012.
I mean,
2011. Yep.
can you help?
I
We're
absolutely.
gonna get a Longhorn in Chicago.
I mean, what a dumb request. Why would you
It's
want
not
that
a dumb
anyway?
request. It's
I
not a
would
dumb
do it.
request.
Why
You know
is
how
it-
fun would that
I'm a
would be?
yes. I'm a yes guy.
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
We could all try it, including
No,
you.
we cannot.
Including
I'm
you.
not lassoing no longhorn.
Aren't you the softball king? Did you
Yeah.
just say?
Yeah, but I'm not lassoing a longhorn.
What's the difference?
They still bring the Longhorn out on the field down there, don't they?
That was the fun days of Twitter, though, because as a fan, it was nobody. It was just it was 20 people on there, and so for someone like me to be able to
so inaccurate.
hit up the players,
There were there was only a
nobody
handful
out there.
of us that was
It
actually.
was a peaceful time on Twitter.
It was.
where people weren't having culture wars over Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Like
Oh,
we were
gosh.
just enjoying our lives.
Yeah.
And every once in a while there was some kind of update from Adam Hoge or Potsy. And then we were also able to interact with the players. It was nice.
I responded.
Yeah, you were great.
I don't think I've tweeted in years, but
You
I
were
got to
great.
start deleting some stuff.
You got a huge following on Instagram.
Yeah.
I saw.
Why?
Yeah. I
What'd you
travel.
do? Oh, you travel?
Yeah. Travel, food. I don't know.
Where do you like to
I
travel?
try.
Wait, what's the
Dude,
handle
really?
again? Because it's about food. It's
So what?
your Instagram handle. What
Can't
is
eat right.
Can't eat right.
Follow me.
Yeah.
See some Chicago places you haven't seen, maybe?
When's the last time you were back in Japan?
Tokyo, I went right before COVID. Like, yeah, that was, I can't wait to go back.
That's on my bucket list. Places
Oh
I've
my
not
gosh.
been. I really want to go there.
Yeah.
Still the people there are so nice.
That's
Like,
what I've heard. The
like you-
food's outstanding.
yeah, it's like illegal to honk. Like, you can't, like,
Oh, I don't know
It's-
if I'd make
it's-
it there then.
yeah, like out here. It's
I
like
grew up in
every- like-
Chicago. I'm out in the burbs right
and
now.
I still
honking,
like,
and
I
people are
feel like
looking at
I'm
me
driving.
crazy.
Like, it's never that serious, I feel. Like, people here just, like, they don't put up, like, with much on the road.
Yeah, my 1 hour and 45-minute commute in this morning.
And yeah, I'm like, dude, like, it's traffic, dog. It's Chicago. Like, it's here.
My mom's in the chat apologizing for my behavior on the show here today. So
Don't worry, we're gonna throw it right back at you right now.
But see, now it makes me want to try and do it. Like, we got to all do it. There's got to
I'm
be
down.
some place. We got some, like, there's some country out here, right?
Yeah.
Some orange.
There's plenty. I'm just
There's got to be. I mean, remember that guy that was riding the horse down the Dan Ryan a couple years ago? There's got to be.
yeah, but the horses aren't there. There's plenty of horses
saying.
in Lake County.
Well, I didn't know-
I don't know any Longhorns.
No, this
last
dude
time
was
I
riding a
checked.
horse right past Comiskey.
Yeah, I know what you're talking.
So there's
about.
got to be somebody with a longhorn. Lawrence,
Don't they have?
find us a longhorn.
This man got a handful of food over here. I'm on it.
Well, here's one food question for you before we got here. Lebowski5 says, "What's your favorite barbecue spot in Chicago?" As a Texas guy,
Barbecue. I'm almost embarrassed, like, because I can't eat right. I don't have a good.
We
Someone
don't
has to
have-
give me one.
We don't have one.
Well, what's your spot? What
I
do you
can
like?
give you a ribs place. Have you ever been in
It's-
Twin Anchors?
That place is delicious.
Twin Anchors ribs.
I've had.
Old Town.
Is Blackwood okay? I don't know.
I don't know it.
I don't know it.
Okay.
Smoke.
It's pretty good.
Smoke's
Okay.
good.
Well, what do you like to eat in the city?
I love sushi.
Sushi.
Yeah.
oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. I think
I've
it was
been
might
getting
be
into
because
it
like
last
it was
few
something I
years.
couldn't afford when I was younger. So now I'm like
I've been getting into it the last
Dabbling?
few years.
You got
too.
a South Loop sushi spot?
South Loop sushi. No, I do
okay.
not.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying about South Loop. Like it's
No, we need more. We need more variety.
yes.
we do.
Like it's like you
Step
gotta
it back up.
Yeah.
No, they do. They do. You're right. But I do like the farmers market on Thursdays. That's a good look. That
Okay.
Roosevelt in Michigan,
We do have Chinatown.
and we got and right. It's right
Chinatown's
there.
great.
Yeah,
Right
it's right
there.
next to South Loop.
Very close. I think we have one more super chat, and then we're gonna throw some things back at Greg real quick,
Oh,
and then we're
great.
gonna say goodbye.
That's scary.
But Javen Terry here, $5 says, incoming Caleb Williams jersey today.
There you go.
I think we fixed the Caleb Williams jersey thing.
We might have had an
'Cause
influence.
We had that one show. Was this while you were on vacation? I forget.
I don't know.
It must have been while you were on vacation. But all of these fans were saying they weren't getting their Caleb Williams. That Fanatics said they're not going to get their jerseys till September.
Right.
And then the next day, people started getting them.
No, it was the fan, and then the Caleb Williams response to the fan.
So Caleb, okay.
Caleb did it. You're trying to take Caleb's credit now? He just got here. What are we doing
Now
here?
I'm actually reading these tweets. This is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're shouting
Don't
you for
read
being
this-
here this long.
Yeah,
It's
if
been
you
felt
read
like
the-
10 minutes, right?
You got to be careful reading the chat, Henry, because then every once in a while it'll come across and it'll say like Braggs is fat or I hate.
Somebody say that, please. I want to read it.
Well, we should ask the chat what
hard.
they think about Greg's new hair. Because
Take your hat
or
off.
lack of hair. Can we please take the hat off? Because this is a new look.
I went full Urlacher.
Well, it's interesting you say that you went full Urlacher.
But no, he's like, hair airport.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what
true.
I'm saying?
He's got
Come on.
hair now. He's got hair
I
now.
don't. That's you go player Urlacher though.
There it is.
Yes.
Ah.
You are Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil.
That's amazing.
That's actually pretty close.
That's amazing.
Take that, Sparkles.
Hair whack.
Can't wait to clip that and send it to Cap.
Yeah, my guy Hank. Rest in peace.
Breaking Brags. That's good.
Damn. That's Hank. Hank Schrader. Breaking Bad. Love it.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
That's fantastic. Henry, thanks so much for hanging out with us today as long as you did.
Breaking
Yeah,
Bad.
no, it's awesome.
I think the fans enjoyed it, and we
Hopefully.
enjoyed it too.
Did you get some subscribers, some likes? I don't know how this works.
Hopefully.
Get
Listen to
160 likes.
Okay, okay.
I mean, this-
him. They don't listen to me,
Okay.
Henry. Just
Cole Kmet did our show all of last season. He come on once a week, and like halfway through the year, he's like, "Is this show on YouTube?"
Yo, I didn't even know we were live.
Yeah, we're live. We are
Until
live. All those beautiful
Maybe
people
like
in the chat.
half an hour in, I was like, "Does that say live?" on there?
we
I thought
probably
we were just
you thought you were
recording
just
like
hanging out.
Yeah,
Probably should've
I'm
told
like,
you
I
that.
wouldn't have been rambling as much as I was sometimes. I was
Well, we're
like, I
rambling.
felt like I was yapping.
We have a very chill show. We're on YouTube every day at noon. People, if you're new here, please hit the like button.
We
please
were
hit
interviewing
Yeah,
Jackson.
follow your boy.
We were interviewing Jackson Smith and Jigba at the Super Bowl.
I do get LeBron a lot. See, now I'm
He's
reading
like,
these.
Are we live?
I didn't know we were live.
Yeah, it's the whole chat.
I do
They've been
get LeBron more often than I would like because I'm like, is he actually good looking? I
Well,
know.
don't bring up LeBron to this guy because he literally berates every one of our guests about
losing
this.
his hair, and you're
I'm wearing a hat for a reason. I'm like,
yeah, it's
yeah,
gone.
don't. I'm looking.
How you gotta give that face? This is a summer head.
Summerhead?
Yeah, Summerhead.
Is that okay?
You got too tan to shave your hair.
It's fine. I wear a hat
You
anyway.
should have shaved it like a month ago.
It's just so I
Then be
give
easy.
my barber a break. My hair will grow back. Carm can't take that risk. He shaves his head. It's over. It's never coming
You
back.
know your barber wants the money.
I know.
It
That's
doesn't
true.
give him a break.
I know, but I needed a break.
All right.
I tip well. I tip well.
Mine won't grow back.
What was that?
Y'all got great hair.
Thank you. Actually, getting a haircut at 3 o'clock, which is why I need to go. We have one more super chat from Big Cram here. Our
my
guy
guy.
here. $20. Kevin, get Henry to sign a contract to stay on CHGO during the season. It's a must.
I
Wow.
agree. I
Wow.
agree. Let's go. Let's add. Let's deepen up the former Bears on the show. That would be a good thing.
I'm with it.
That's awesome.
I'm with it.
And when Woot's in
It's fun.
studio, we could have you come
Oh,
back
yeah.
and you could chip dive him.
I'm not even.
I'll help.
It's-
I'll help because Woo is always messing with me. Dude, always. We did a live draft show and he
Me
put,
and Wu had some very, very, very good times.
dude, he
in
put me
Chicago.
in a headlock at the
Yes.
draft show. My head about popped off my shoulder.
Does he? Have you seen his robot?
Well, no.
He has a robot for y'all? Oh, come on, Wu.
What kind of robot?
Oh, like big man,
Like the dance move?
popping chest, like.
Oh,
Y'all haven't seen this?
No, we're going to have to
my
make him do
goodness
this now
gracious.
on camera.
Oh yeah, he's
Without
gonna
a
do
doubt.
it. He loves doing it. I'm surprised, like now that now it's a wrap. Now you're definitely gonna. He will sit here and probably just like pop lock.
Okay.
That's how I met him.
He was kind of grooving a little bit after the second night of the draft party.
Well, we all
No, he
kinda-
can go
we all kinda were.
full blown robot.
Okay.
We'll have him do it after the Bears beat the Titans in Week 1 when he's here on the post-game show. Henry, again, thanks so much. Greatly appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
We'll have to do this again sometime soon. And
Hook 'em,
Yep.
Torchy's tacos. I'll say it. That's right.
Torchies is amazing. See it like
I've been
breakfast
down.
tacos.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness, we need more of those in the city.
we do. That sounds really good right now. Hit that like button. Hit subscribe. We'll be right back here at noon tomorrow. And as Greg mentioned earlier, Gervon Dexter coming up on Thursday. So big week continued here on CHGO Bears. There is no off season for us.
Skeeter, you're the man. I appreciate you.
We'll talk to you tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.